Hi everybody, welcome to Tall Oak Homestead. My name is Carrie. Thanks for joining me today. Thought I'd bring you along while I throw together a really quick and delicious salad for dinner tonight, chock-a-block full of protein. I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that struggles with coming up with something new and different for dinner every night. I do love to cook, but there are just some days where it's really tough to try and come up with something new. So today I went to pull something out of the fridge, and we bought a chicken from Costco the other day. And I thought, well, if I don't get this used up, it's going to go bad. So I thought for dinner tonight, I would make us a really easy chicken salad. So I'm going to start with cutting up this chicken. I'm going to leave it on that bag because I don't want all of that fat all over my cutting board. I'm just going to cut up the breast. I do actually, once when I use these types of chickens, I do keep all of the skin and the bones, and I will throw that in the freezer, and then the next time I make a stock or a soup, I will use that. I'm not going to cut all of this off. All right, that should be good for the two of us. Okay, just going to move this out of the way. I do need to get a bowl for us. All right, so the goal of this is just basically, I'm going to cut it up into bite-sized pieces. I'm going to add in some scallions, some pickles, some mayonnaise, maybe a bit of mustard, I'm not sure. I'm going to rest that on a bed of greens, and then I will add in some tomato, some hard-boiled eggs, some cucumber. And that will pretty much be the extent of it. It's very easy, very quick. It's actually a bit of a take on a salad I used to get years and years ago at Swiss Chalet, which I loved. It was kind of very similar. I don't know about you, but we are a big fan of Costco chickens in this house. They're so easy to use to prepare a meal. I'm going to add that in. Just going to give my hands a little wash here, and I'm going to wipe down this board. It's cooked chicken, so I'm not too worried about it contaminated anything. It's just make it a little less sloppy. Oh, you can tell how good the chicken is. I have a friend here. I don't think you can see him behind the counter, but here's Berkeley. Let's give him a little treat. There you go, Bob. Okay. So I want to do some scallion. I find when I get my onions, I like to cut them and wrap them in dry paper towel and put them in a baggie. It just helps them last longer in the fridge if you don't get to go through them too quickly. See, some of them are starting to spoil here. Okay. I'll make a little vinaigrette on the side for my dressing. Andrew doesn't really care too much for the salad dressings that I make, so I won't dress the salads, but I will make my dressing and just leave it on the side and let him use whatever we have in the fridge that catches his fancy tonight. I'll put some onion in there. Get a pickle and put that in. I don't think salads are typically a summer evening dinner, but we like to eat salads all year long. And of course, the only type of pickles that we like to use in our meals are good old Strub's pickles. I do make my own dill pickles, which my granddaughters love. They don't have that really deep flavor that the Strub's do. They're still very delicious, but when it comes for certain things, it's got to be a Strub's. And just because we want to make sure that everything's going okay. Yep. Perfect. Okay. Throw the pickle in. Okay. Just going to grab a spoon. I'm going to put in a little bit of mustard. Ooh. Not a lot, just a little bit. It tends to be a strong mustard. Need another spoon. This one for the mayonnaise. All right, let's give this a mix and see. Andrew and I are both very different on how we like salt and pepper. I am very heavy on pepper and light on salt because of my blood pressure. And Andrew is very heavy on the salt and practically no pepper. So typically when I make something like this, I don't salt and pepper it. I wait until we serve it, and then we can each put our own salt and pepper on. So that is the chicken part of the salad. I'm just going to give it a quick taste and make sure it doesn't need anything else. Nope. Perfect. Okay. Just going to get this out of the way. I'm going to leave the mustard out because I'm going to use that for my salad dressing I'm going to make. Just going to pour into my green bin. Let's get this rinsed up. Okay. So we have the chicken part ready. Now we'll cut up everything else that we need. I've already washed my cucumber. So I usually do kind of large slices on the bias. Okay. And now a tomato. Oh, it does not want to come out. There we go. I just cut the tomato in quarters. I will give the tomato a little bit of a sprinkle of salt just to bring out the flavor. Try my hand a little bit first here. That should do. Okay, now I have some hard-boiled eggs. do you do your eggs? Typically what I do is I will put my eggs in a pot with water. I put a little bit of vinegar in. And then once they start to boil, I set my timer for 10 minutes. I know some people boil their water first and then put the eggs in. I will say sometimes I have done that, and I'm maybe not as gentle as I could be with putting my eggs in, and I've cracked my eggs as I'm putting them in. I do find though, by adding in the vinegar, it does help with peeling the skin off the eggs. I'm going to give them a quick rinse when I'm done here too, because even though I have peeled them, some of the shell is sticking just a little bit, and there's nothing worse than biting into an egg and having the shell in there. Berkeley's still at my feet, hoping I drop something. I don't think he hopes I drop an egg, but possibly another piece of chicken. Okay. So I'm going to rinse these. Okay. Now they're all ready to go. I'm just going to push this mess off of my board here. Okay. So now we're going to get our bowls out. I was a little lazy today in terms of preparing the salad. I have, oh, sorry about that. That's very loud. Oh, a salad mix in a container. Oh. Fill each bowl up. Well, some of these could certainly do with being broken up a little bit. Salad is great, but there's nothing worse than trying to take a bite and having a massive mouthful of lettuce. Looks pretty good. This lettuce looks really good. Maybe a little bit more on this side. Okay. So, start to put this around. Okay, and we'll get our eggs cut up. A little bit of that yolk fell off. Okay, now let me grab another spoon. I think I'll grab one of my large ice cream scoops. And there we go. I'm going to make a very easy, simple vinaigrette for my salad. I have a little bit of mustard. Using grainy, it's called Cressy mustard. It's from a company called Prince Eddie's Brewery Company. Their mustard is absolutely delicious. We get this kind. There is one called Ballpark. There's a few other kinds we really enjoy. Gonna put a little bit of olive oil in. Gonna use a little bit of rice wine vinegar. That's my favorite vinegar to use. I love the sweet flavor. Just gonna put just shy of a tablespoonful. I don't like it to be too acidy. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of honey in there. We get our honey from a local honey place called River Valley Honey. It's in Sterling Rawdon, and we like it because it's a local honey, and we both have allergies, and so we really believe in having honey that has been gathered locally because it does help with the allergies. We're trying to use it very sparingly right now, though. They are closed for the winter. Do a pinch of salt, pinch of pepper, stir. We'll give it a try. Oh, that's delicious. That'll work perfect with the chicken. Made a beautiful loaf of sourdough yesterday, so we'll plan to have some of that with our salad tonight. That easy, there's dinner for tonight. Hope you enjoyed this quick little video on this very easy and nutritious salad to make for dinner. Maybe this week I'm looking to do something for dinner, like a chicken cacciatore maybe, with served over some pasta. So looking forward to seeing you on that video. Take care. Bye.